up, beauty gang? So welcome to the very first episode 1 of my curly hair series that I'm bringing you guys. Basically, it's going to be a how to go natural series, a multitude of videos, advice, tips, just information that you need to go natural. So this first video is going to be all about natural hair terminology, okay? Terms that have been thrown out there in the natural hair community and you have no idea what they mean, what certain syllables stand for, what the heck? Just what the heck? A while back ago, I asked my Snapchat fam to send me natural hair terminologies that they never heard before, and I felt this video was important to make because I've never seen anybody make a video on natural hair terminology. It's just like we make videos for you guys, but we don't necessarily explain what the terms that we use and say in the videos even mean. We just off the bat assume you guys know. I like to dumb things down a little bit and try to produce content that I wish was out there when I was first trying to go natural, so that no corners are missed, nothing's misunderstood, all of that. So I decided to bring you guys this video on all the natural hair terms that you need to know to become a natural and understand natural hair, just the whole realm of things. Okay, so without further ado, let's start this series. Natural hair terminology number 1. It wouldn't be right if I didn't start off with what is natural hair. So natural hair is hair that's texture has not been altered by chemical straighteners like relaxers, texturizers, perms, any of that. So in short, your natural hair is your God-given, untouched, unaltered, no chemical treatment hair. Now, if you don't have 100% natural hair, you will hear a lot in the natural community the term transitioning. So transitioning is to return a natural hair texture from a chemically straightened or heat trained, aka heat damaged texture. So you're basically slowly letting your natural hair, your natural roots grow out from that damaged hair. That's transitioning. Not cutting it off, just letting it all kind of grow into 2 different textures. The second term that you will hear in the natural hair community if you are not 100% natural already is the big chop. The big chop is the process of cutting off the relaxed, permed, or just damaged overall ends of your hair when transitioning. So big chopping is basically you becoming 100% natural. If you had any damage, any chemicals, anything going on with your hair, you're cutting off that hair. So transitioning, you're letting it grow out with 2 different textures, your natural texture and the chemical texture. But big chop is you keeping that natural texture that has grown out, but you are cutting off that chemically textured hair. And I'll just throw in there really quick, a lot of people that do decide to transition or big chop is from relaxed hair. So relaxed hair comes into fruition because a lotion or cream is used typically by people with tight curls or very curly hair, which makes the hair easier to straighten. So that's usually why people relax their hair. That's what happens when you relax your hair. It makes it easier to straighten, manipulate, all that stuff. Now, a term that you will also hear a lot is hair porosity. Porosity is your hair's ability to absorb moisture. And porosity is broken down into 3 different categories. There is low porosity, normal porosity, and high porosity. Now, I will be touching more on the specifics of hair porosity and whatnot in future videos in this series, but just a quick breakdown. Low porosity hair is when your hair's cuticles are a little bit tight and pretty resistant to receiving and absorbing water and moisture. Normal hair porosity tends to hold moisture and shine for an extended amount of time, but it can change depending on how often a person puts heat on their hair, if they color their hair, if they chemically process their hair in any way. And then high porosity hair is hair that absorbs products quickly but loses moisture fast. Now, another term that you will hear in this series and that you'll definitely hear every once in a while in the natural hair community is hair density. So hair density is how thin or thick your hairs are collectively. So like how close they are. You can like see in your scalp how close are your hair. Are they very close and compact? Are they spread out kind of, or are they kind of like all over the place? That's hair density. Another term I will be discussing with you guys in the near future is hair width. And a lot of times people tend to mix up what hair density and hair width is. They kind of think it's one and the same, when really hair width is how thick or thin a single strand of hair is. So like You guys aren't even gonna be able to see it, but a single strand, how thin or thick it is, that is your hair's width. A question that I get a lot on my videos, people have asked, what is hair slip? You hear people talk about, you know, oh, this has really good slip or really bad slip or slip, all in the natural hair community, right? So slip is if the product helps you detangle your hair or not. And an example of good slip is when your fingers or styling tool can literally glide through your hair. That's how you know you have good slip in a product. Another term, believe it or not, that a lot of people don't know what it means, what it is wash and go. So wash and go is when you wear your hair in its natural curl pattern without manipulating it whatsoever. With styling tools, braids, or stretching it. Your hair is just how it is, but you add certain products to better define your curls, to hold the curls, stuff like that. But other than that, you do not alter your hair's natural curl pattern in any way. That's what a wash and go is. Something else I was asked a lot was, what does TWA stand for? And you see that a lot in the natural hair community because a lot of people big chop, and TWA, by the way, stands for teeny weeny fro. But that's not the only acronym that you will see every once in a while in the natural hair community. There's also NL, which stands for neck length. There's CBL, which stands for collarbone length. There's SL, which stands for shoulder length. There's APL, which stands for armpit length. There's BSL, which stands for bra strap length. There's MBL, which stands for mid back length. There's WL, which stands for waist length. There's HL, which stands for hip length. And then there's TBL, which stands for tailbone length, and that is like right above the nape of your booty. So girl, if you there, why are you even watching this video? You obviously have it all going on, okay? But no, in all seriousness, those are the other acronyms that you might hear every once in a while. So now you guys can be hip to what TWA stands for, BSL and blah blah blah. Yeah, that's what it stands for, guys. Now another term you hear a lot in the natural hair community, and you will also hear in this series, is pre-poo. A lot of people were asking, what is pre-poo? What does that mean? So pre-poo is a treatment done before shampooing your hair to help aid against shampoo's tendency to strip your hair of its natural oils and moisture. And like I said before, I will go into more detail in future videos of these series, but just really quick, pre-poos can be an oil of your choice. It can be a DIY conditioner, a regular conditioner, a hair mask, or honey, but we will get into all that later. I'm just giving y'all examples of what pre-poo you can do before shampooing your hair. And speaking of shampooing your hair, you will hear a lot about sulfate-free shampoos. A lot of people have realized just regular old plain shampoo is the worst type of stripping your hair can ever experience during wash days. So a lot of people tend to go to the sulfate-free because sulfate-free shampoos are mild detergents that don't completely wash away your hair's moisture. In addition to sulfate-free shampoos during wash day, you also will hear the term co-wash. So people either use sulfate-free shampoos, regular shampoos if you're crazy like that, or they'll use a co-wash. And co-wash is short for conditioner only washing. So it basically means skipping shampoo and relying solely on conditioner. And doing co-wash tends to make your hair a lot smoother, softer, and more manageable. I can vouch for that. So shortly after you're done washing, cleansing your hair and whatnot, you hear a lot of people talk about deep conditioning, and deep conditioning is just like the end all be all if you don't do it in the natural hair community. So if you don't know what deep conditioning is, it's a hair care practice that can help restore and or maintain the strength of your hair strands so that they can better withstand day-to-day stressors without sustaining damage. So like always manipulating your hair, different hairstyles, tugging on your hair a lot, blah blah blah. Deep conditioning is supposed to help strengthen your hair strands so they don't break or split as easy. Now as for protein treatments, which you will hear about every once in a while, and that is highly suggested with people who have like chemically processed their hair in any way, even when it comes to coloring your hair. Protein treatments are usually done because our natural hair relies on protein, nutrients, and oil to support healthy roots. Because our hair is about 91% protein, harsh chemical treatments like coloring your hair, exposure to sun, pollution, and lack of care can lead to breaking down your hair's protein, which can result in brittle and dull hair. So the reason people do protein treatments is to keep a balance, to your hair. Now the next couple terms, I won't be doing these videos in the natural hair series because I already have them on my channel, but just in case you don't know what they are, starting with a braid out. A braid out is a way of stretching your natural hair by braiding it, and after the style sets, then you take it down. So sets means after it dries, after all the products have dried, you take it down. Now a twist out is a form of twisting your hair, whether it be 2-strand twist, 3-strand twist, flat twist, whatever twist you want to do, and then taking that down after it sets and dries. Now flat twist is a neat form of twisting your hair, which can also be used as a protective style. You don't have to take it down right away, or you don't have to take it down at all. It can be rocked as a protective style. And speaking of protective styles, which you probably hear a lot, a protective style is when you wear the ends of your hair tucked away. So this is not a protective style. I have my ends out, but if I was to put this into a bun and tuck my ends away, literally, that would be a protective style. Another term that I thought was kind of funny, because I feel like almost every black person already knew this, well, at least I assume so, but I got a lot of questions asking about what does the kitchen mean? What is the kitchen of your hair? Why is that used in natural hair videos and blah blah blah? Why do I hear about it? So the kitchen is the nape area of your neck, so back here. The kitchen, usually when you get your hair done or flat ironed or whatever, that's the first thing to go. Like, it naps up very easily. So it is the nape section of your hair, right back there, right back there. In the natural hair community, you will also hear about curly hair routines, wash day routines, blah 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 blah. I don't know if anybody ever really broke down and explained what that means. So a curly hair / wash day routine is a routine that you created for your hair specifically that'll help you better manage and maintain your natural hair before, during, and after cleansing your hair. I will make a video in this series on how to create your regimen and whatnot, but a curly hair routine, wash day routine, blah blah blah, usually consists of cleansing, conditioning, deep conditioning, and then styling your hair. But we will go more into detail with that in the future. Now, a hair regimen is different from a curly hair or wash day routine. A natural hair regimen is a weekly or even monthly process that you do that helps manage and maintain healthy curly hair. Another interesting term that you don't really hear anybody explain what it means. Somebody asked, what is the awkward stage? You hear a lot of people say awkward length, or I'm going through an awkward stage. Online, it says that the awkward stage means the point at which your hair is no longer TWA, so teeny weeny fro, but it's also not SL, so shoulder length. So your hair isn't short like this anymore, but it's also not here yet, so it's like an awkward stage because it's an awkward length. Another thing we're definitely going to be discussing, and I'm going to go more into detail in this series, is natural hair types. There are 4 different hair types, and every natural hair person belongs to one of those 4 types. Again, I will be getting more into detail in another video of hair types and textures and all that good stuff. So yeah, but real quick, type 1 is typically straight hair, type 2 is usually wavy hair, type 3 is curly hair, and then type 4 is usually kinky hair. Now, natural hair types and natural hair textures are 2 different things, and some people get confused on that too. A natural hair texture is determined by whether or not your hair is coarse, fine, or has medium texture. Another term you might hear and see a lot in the natural hair community is dusting your hair. And dusting your hair pretty much is where less than a 1/4 inch, so like, I don't even know, less than a 1/4 inch is trimmed off your hair. And it's called dusting because with so little bits and pieces of hair trimmed like that, when they all gather together, it almost resembles a pile of dust. But yeah, you guys, that's about all the terminology that really comes to mind right now to kick off this natural hair series. If I missed any terms, or there's any other terms you still are unsure about, don't hesitate to leave them in the comment section below, and I can hopefully get to them. Or Beauty Gang, help each other out. If you see it and I haven't commented back yet, go ahead and help out your fellow Beauty Gang members, please. And yeah, this series, I'm really excited about doing it. I really hope you guys enjoy it. It will be back to back to back uploads. So there's one today, there will be one tomorrow, and there will be one the following day. So let's get this joint started. I told y'all Beauty Gang is lit, and as promised, your girl's coming through with the natural hair series. So until next time, guys, bye.